Hello and welcome to Inspiring You. I'm so glad you've joined us again. Today I have two guests, so we're in store for a treat, I believe. Our guests are Priti Raitatha, and Priti is a dancer and she teaches classical Indian dance. So we'll hear a little bit from her shortly. And joining me again is Samantha Houghton. Houghton, I always get her name wrong, but Leicester has a place called Houghton on the Hill, so that's how I remember it, Samantha Houghton. And Samantha is a businesswoman and your business is called Iridescence.
Yeah.
Ladies, welcome.
Thanks
for joining
me. Thank
me.
you very much.
Today we're talking about inspiration and life. So, what, in your opinion, is inspiration all about? Now, I know that's a really big question, but Priti, let's start with you. What's inspiration in your mind?
For me, it's how I saw my mother raising us. Though I had a very large family, my dad was a businessman, so I would in some way say my mother was a single parent because she raised 10 children.
10?
On her own, while my father provided for us. And in our culture, women didn't go to work. The men did, so the women were housewives and brought the children up. So I think I watched my mum, grow up watching my mother, how she raised us as single-handedly.
Oh, wow.
That was from East Africa, where we come from, where I was born. And furthermore here, how we had to change from one extreme to another.
Yes, different culture.
And how my mother dealt with it is I haven't got enough words to express that. So I think my mother is my biggest inspiration.
So what do you think are some of the things that she may have done or said that had that impression on you, and what was that impression?
In a nutshell, I would say she taught us a lot, me especially, how to master rocket science.
Right.
There was no, in her dictionary, there is no such thing as you can't do this or this is impossible.
Yes.
Somehow she always managed to find a way to deal with things. And it was like we had it in a silver plate, but now going back, thinking about these things, I think, if I didn't have my mother the way my mother was,
yes.
I feel personally I wouldn't be here doing this, having this chat with you, because she's the biggest inspiration in my life. And obviously my God, my guru. So.
Okay. So Sam, for you then, what's inspiration all about?
I totally agree with Priti's mum. I think with anything in life, there is always a solution.
Yes.
It's not always going to jump out at you quickly. You probably have to look very hard for it, but there is always a way out of a difficult situation.
Yes.
For me, inspiration is people, ideas, things that people have done when they've come in the face of adversity, particularly people who have had very, very challenging experiences.
Yeah.
Been in not such a great place, but they've somehow found that strength within, and they've just not only gone through it, but gone on to do fantastic things and inspire other people.
So in your everyday life, you're going about doing your businesses, or you're going about teaching dance and that sort of, do you see yourself as an inspiration at that time?
Yeah, I personally feel I do, because when I used to watch other people, agreeing with Sandra again, I used to think to myself, I could do that, or I want to be in that place, or in that space. My first experience of watching Indian classical dance, Kathak, is my genre. Kathak is from North Indian. It's a North Indian art form of classical dance. Right. And I watched someone in DeMontford Hall, and I was very, very young, and I thought, I can do this, I want to do this, but how do I do this? Yeah. So now people look at me, and I believe there must be hundreds in the audiences or somewhere on the line thinking, oh, she can do it, we can do it. So I feel I inspire quite a few people.
Sam?
It's not something I like think about. I just go on and do it, whatever it is I'm doing. But on reflection of it, I would like to think that yes, it would. I can't think of anything greater than being able to inspire somebody to go and do something positive to make a change for the better.
Yeah. So there are two trains of thought there, and I like both of them, because one of them, Priti, you're saying, well, actually, yes, I put that in my head and I say, I want to do this, I can do this, and that propels you forward. And then, Sam, on the other hand, you have times in your life when all you're doing is focusing on getting through that and being who you want to be, not really thinking about the impact it has, but fingers crossed it has a positive impact on the people around you. Yeah, that's inspiring in itself. Because I think a lot of people don't see themselves as inspirational.
When anyone actually has said that to me, I have to say it really moves me.
Yes,
really, really touches me.
Yeah,
because I think, wow, that's amazing. What more could you ask for, really?
So, do you think, as we're three ladies here, do you think that being inspirational for a woman is different to what it might be for a man? I know it's a very hard. You're not men, but but looking at your lives.
Yeah, I think if I can go back to our upbringing and culture again, culture background again, for a person or a female from a South Asian background, it is a huge challenge. Like, I agree with Sandra with the earlier question. You don't think about it really. You just try and combat that issue. And yes, there have been fingers pointed at us, especially to be an Indian dancer and an Indian classical dancer. If you look at the history of Indian classical dance from the Mughal area, this dance style was for courtesans.
Right. Okay.
So, so that element is. It used to back of your mind unconsciously used to feel, what will people think? What will people say? That I didn't have that confidence in me. I was very negative and literally, and constantly worried about what will that he say or she say. But if it wasn't for the person I married, who encouraged me to go and learn an art form that I wanted to as a child, so I would say it is a man who helped me, a South Asian man, who actually said, go and do it.
Yes.
So I think I owe him a lot.
So the challenges really for you, from your experience, the challenges that women face may be different from the challenges that men may face.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
What do you think, Sam?
I suppose in my culture, not such a big difference. I think if you were talking about the business world, I think there is a lot more empowerment for women now than if we went back a few years, which is brilliant.
Yes.
But in everyday life, I think I just see everyone as an individual, and if they're inspiring, regardless of their sex.
Yeah. What, when you think of your life then, your life journey, what would you like your legacy to be?
From what I'm currently doing within the society, I am mainly working with people with South Asian background, and the women that come to the sessions, I've tried to given them my example of, and my mum's example, which is inside me all the time. How would my mum deal with this? So going back to those roots, I want people to think that, Priti taught me how to enjoy my life or be positive. You are a human being. You're not just a woman. You are a very, very special, important human being in this world. That's why you're here. And to give that message to hundreds and hundreds of female that come across to my everyday life, and it's rewarding when you see that an extremely depressed, unwell woman coming into your class, and then 3 months later she's having a huge laugh. It's extremely important to the work work I like to deliver, and that person has brought 10 more. Yes. And that person's, so it's been a build-up, and like going back to earlier, you don't think coffee, you just do it, and then when somebody does come and say, oh, you are good, or you've taught me this, you sort of realise, and it does touch you, and you feel like you've done something good for the people you belong to, or your community you belong to. So that's what I would say.
Sam, what would you like your legacy to be?
I would like it, and I'm thinking now on my gravestone, my headstone. I'm thinking she gave me hope. She gave me strength to carry on. When the in times in your life when you're in those darkest places, you hang on in there, because it doesn't have to be this way. It can change. You can experience feeling amazing and enjoying a fantastic life.
Yeah.
And just to believe in yourself.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
Because you can go from feeling really bad to feeling really great. You really can believe that.
Okay. Ladies, I want to say thank you. You shared quite a bit about yourselves today and answered some difficult questions at times. But, do you know, some of these questions I believe that everybody is asking at some point. I guess if I were to answer that last question myself, it would be, in a nutshell, that I would have left the world a better place by being here. And that gives me lots of scope to do all sorts of things, and all sorts of things well. So, Priti, Samantha, and I know I've called you Sam because we're friends, I call you Sam all the time. Thank you so much for joining me on the Inspiring You couch. And thank you, viewers. We'd like to say thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Sandra.